Good morning. Happy 9 o'clock. It is the 10th day of May right here in downtown Alton. It's our daily show right here on RiverBender.com. So glad you guys are here today. We got a great show for you. If I can find my notes. Coming up, we're going to be talking to Shannon Stelling with the Metro East Home Builders and Remodelers Association. Get some insights on the group as a whole and ways we can be a part of it. Then Dr. Kumar with OSF St. Anthony's Health Center joins us at around 10:10. We're going to be talking about the importance of, colonoscopies and colon cancer as a whole. Very serious topic. And Dr. Kumar going to bring us his insights and fill us in on things that, we need to be aware of. When's the right time to start getting colonoscopies done? All that in between. And yes, I know that's what you want to hear at 9:01. Then at 10:30. We're going to be talking to Dallas Martz, learning about the upcoming River Dragon season a little bit and going to get some insights on some events coming down the pipeline, all of that in between. So looking forward to the show. Looking forward to you guys being a part of it. 618-759-7469. That's 618-759-7469. And let me know what you want to talk about today. We'll take you to top of the hour news now on this 10th day of May. In Alton at around 10 a.m. on Tuesday, May the 9th, the Alton Police Department was made aware of a head-on traffic crash near the intersection of Martin Luther King Drive at 10th Street. Officers and members of the Alton Fire Department arrived on scene and discovered two vehicles that were involved in the crash. Preliminary investigations revealed that a gold 2003 Chevrolet S10 pickup was traveling northbound on MLK when it crossed over the center line and struck a white 2016 Nissan Rogue that was traveling southbound, according to Alton Police Chief Jarrett Ford. A quote, both vehicles sustained extensive damage. The driver of the Nissan was transported to a local hospital and later to a St. Louis area hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the Chevrolet was also transported to a local hospital by the Alton Fire Department ambulance for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. The cause of the incident remains under investigation at this time. Also in the news from Dalton Brown and Glen Carbon, the Glen Carbon Village Board of Trustees, passed several amendments to the village code and approved the appointments of several individuals to various boards and committees at Mayor Bob Marcus's recommendation. Mayor Marcus made a few announcements at the start of the meeting, the first of which was that there were still a few vendor opportunities available for the Glen Carbon Homecoming event being held on Father's Day weekend on June the 16th and 17th, and more information about that parade and participation forms can be found on the village website. Neighboring nominations are now open for the 2023 GLEN Awards awarded by the Gardening, Landscaping, and Enhancement Nature Committee. Mayor Marcus said winners will be selected based on their yard's beautification efforts and can be a resident or a business. Online voting is available at the village website, and winners will be featured in the next Village Communicator. Finally, Mayor Marcus asked village residents to fill out the lead and copper service line survey by filling out the online form on the village website. The appointment of several individuals, including several new appointees, were approved for various boards and commissions, including the Building and Development Committee, the Public Safety Committee, Planning and Zoning Commission, and more. The full list of appointees and the respective boards and committees is available on page 40 of the May 9th meeting packet. A hyperlink on RiverBender.com will take you directly to it. Trustees also approved several amendments to the village code, the first which concerned general parking regulations. The amendment clarified the prohibition of displaying vehicles for sale on private or public property, and there are exceptions for car dealerships and for a licensed vehicle owned by an occupant of a residential unit. Another amendment passed clarifies the definition of a trailer and the current restrictions being enforced. Village Administrator Jamie Bowden said this ordinance essentially states that trailers can't be parked in a residence's front yard. They must be parked on the side or rear of the house, except during the actual loading and unloading of the trailer. It also prohibits more than one trailer or recreational trailer from being parked on any lot or parcel at any one time. A similar amendment passed by trustees clarifying the parking restrictions for an RV or boat in all residential areas, not just RS10 zoning. No more than one boat or RV may be parked on any lot at one time, and boats are not to be used as a dwelling or as an office for any other commercial purposes. Also approved was a village amendment clarifying what is considered open storage. The original ordinance was amended during the meeting to state that bikes, scooters, grills, and other tools or landscaping equipment are to be stored either behind residential houses or in a shed behind the houses, except for properties in the RM multifamily zoning areas. Also, the lowest bid for the village's electrical accounts contract was also approved, with Bowdoin stating that the village's energy contract with Constellation New Energy is set to expire in November or December, while the current cost with Constellation is 4.7 cents per kilowatt hour and set to increase just below 7 cents per kilowatt hour. Bowdoin noted that this is still a better deal than some municipalities received, such as Collinsville, who just signed a contract for over 8 cents per kilowatt hour. The village board also approved an amendment clarifying sidewalk and driveway installation requirements within the village, specifically setting a limit on the amount of a slope allowed on a new driveway construction. The total breakover limit is to be set at 12%, meaning a 2% slope in the road would limit the slope of a new driveway to 10%. Finally, trustees approved an agreement with TWM Inc. for the design and construction of a new parking lot at 173 South Main Street. The parking lot is intended to relieve traffic congestion on Main Street in downtown Glen Carbon. A full recording of the May 9th meeting can be watched on the Village of Glen Carbon Facebook page. Also in the news today, Madison County Salvation Army's Dine to Donate program kicks off in just 5 days. If you want to help young students sharpen their reading skills over the summer, provide a safe, supervised place for kids to go after school, and help send a kid to summer camp, it's as simple as stopping for coffee or even dining out during the Dine to Donate Salvation Army event that's all week long. The program begins on Monday, May the 15th, and will continue through Sunday, May the 21st. 7 area businesses will donate a generous percentage of their proceeds to the organizations on a designated day. Funds received will help the youth in our area through the after-school program, the summer reading program, and summer camps. Participating establishments include Scooters on Monday, May the 15th, the Glen Carbon and Godfrey location. On Tuesday, May the 16th, Martin Tunes and Eats in Wood River is participating. On Wednesday, May the 17th, stop to Brown Bag Bistro and help support the Salvation Army. On Thursday, May the 18th, Santino's in Alton contributing and participating in the Dine to Donate event. Friday, May the 19th, is Josephine's Tea Room in Godfrey participating. Saturday, May the 20th, My Just Desserts in Alton. And Sunday, May the 21st, Bakers and Hale in Godfrey. The Salvation Army said it's extremely grateful to these generous businesses for their support and encourages members of the community to patronize these establishments during Salvation Army Week. Also in the news today, Country Financial donated $1,500 to the Jerseyville Fire Department. Insurance agent Nathan Whitman was pleased to support the Jerseyville Fire Department last weekend with a $1,500 donation as part of the company's Operation Helping Heroes program. The funds will be used for additional supplies. The Operation Helping Heroes program was created in 2015 to support nonprofit events and programs that benefit active duty service members, veterans, and their families. Later, the program expanded to include first responders and teachers. Country Financial, an insurance and financial services company, has donated more than $5 million since 2020 to organizations and programs that support teachers, first responders, active duty service members, veterans, and supporting the community's vision and the company's vision, to enrich lives in the communities that we serve. Also in the news today from Dalton Brown, from the Alton the North Alton Godfrey Business Council meeting, the St. Louis Regional Freightway Executive Director Mary Lamy spoke at the most recent meeting on May the 9th yesterday at the loading dock and discussed ways her organization worked to help market the advantages of the St. Louis region. Lamy said 7 years ago, Metropolitan Planning Organization East West Gateway looked at the manufacturing logistics industry in the St. Louis region and recognized that when compared to sister cities like Kansas City, Columbus, Minneapolis, Memphis, and more, the cities had better growth in those industries at the time. She continued by saying the St. Louis region has several strategic and infrastructural advantages, but those other cities were out hustling it with their superior marketing. Lamy also said the Illinois Department of Transportation does a great job of setting priorities for roads and bridges, but going forward, they and the Missouri Department of Transportation are trying to set priorities based on multimodal transportation. And she added that it's important for Bi-State Development Agency, of which the Freightway is a part of, to include the private industry, including manufacturing and logistic companies in the process. She described the organization as a whole as a, quote, marketing consultant for the St. Louis region when it comes to the freight industry. They started advertising the advantages of the region through press releases and eventually gained national media coverage, but still needed ways to draw manufacturing and logistic companies into St. Louis or help the ones already in the area. Going forward, the Freightway and Bi-State Development Agency are focusing on infrastructure and improvement projects like the reconstruction of the Interstate 270 bridge over the Mississippi River at Chain of Rocks Road. The project has been cited as a high priority and infrastructure necessity for the past few years and has received $76 million in funding over the past 2 years combined. More information about the St. Louis Regional Freightway and the work they're doing is available on their website at thefreightway.com. That's thefreightway.com. One final bit of news for you today at 9:12 on this 10th day of May. The annual Ballin' with a Cop program last weekend was once again a way for Alton police officers to reach out to the younger generation in a very positive way. The event was held from noon to 2 p.m. this past Saturday at the YWCA of Alton and featured a great afternoon of basketball, three-point contest, and free throw contests as well. A quote from the chief: "The officers didn't fare too well against the kids, but everyone had a blast." Chief Ford said it was a wonderful event to bring the community together and to build good relationships. Thank you to the precious organization, YWCA, Tammy Smith, and all the others who helped put on and participate in this event. We look forward to doing it again. That's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend at 9:13 on this 10th day of May. Coming up, like I said, we got a really great show. Going to talk to some great folks today, but how are you guys feeling today? I don't know what happened. I was so good yesterday. Went home. I thought, gonna get to bed early. I got like 7 hours of sleep, so hell froze over. And man, I woke up today and the rain started, and it's like Mike Tyson just hit me right in the nose. I'm ready to go back to bed. I'm ready for the sinus stuff to be over too, but gonna have some few showers throughout the day. I know that it's raining off and on throughout the Madison County area, so if anything gets severe, of course, RiverBender.com will keep you updated. And while I'm talking about updates, let me update you on this one. We got a brand new segment starting next Wednesday called Third on Third. Every third Wednesday of the month for many months to come, we are teaming up with Third Street Realty and Lisa Webb. Lisa Webb's been on the show a couple of times now, getting you guys familiar with the real estate expert. But Lisa Webb and her family have been doing this for over a decade. And what I love about Third Street Realty, it's woman-owned, but family operated, where family values matter, and they're going to be your advocate for you and your family through the entire buying or selling or even that foreclosure process. They handle it all. So whether or not you're a first-time home buyer and you want to be educated and actually learn about the process while you're going through and making one of the most important decisions of your life, or if you're just a couple that's ready to sell your property and move on to another location, or if you're in that unfortunate situation of having to look to either short sale or foreclose on that home, Lisa Webb and Third Street Realty will be your advocate for everything. and they'll take you through it every step of the way, educating you and making sure that they are your ally through this process. And whether or not you're looking to buy right away or you're just looking to, put some feelers out there about your property, or maybe just look to move into the area or find a different location, Lisa Webb and Third Street Realty are here to help. All you have to do, it's really simple. ThirdStRealty.com, ThirdStRealty.com. You'll see their full inventory of properties for sale, or even better yet, if you're an investor out there that likes to flip properties, there's a ton out there on Third Street Realty's website for you guys to get your hands on and make beautiful once again for that next family. Third on Third is about the education of the real estate process. All we're going to do is listen to Lisa, ask some questions, get some insights on every in and out, every component of that, real estate transaction, whether you're buying, selling, or foreclosing. And Lisa Webb and Third Street Realty, nice enough to give us some knowledge, and all of you guys some knowledge for free. You're welcome. Now, all I do have to ask you is, after you start liking the segment and you start sharing it and learning about the real estate process, once you're ready to buy, once you're ready to sell, once it's time to maybe make that decision on the short sale or foreclosure process, give Lisa Webb and Third Street Realty a call. Give them a chance to help you put yourself in the best path forward. ThirdStRealty.com. That's ThirdStRealty.com. Coming up on the show in just about 2 or 3 minutes, we're talking to Shannon Stelling, the home builders and remodelers of the Metro East. We get insights on the organization as a whole and ways we can be a part of it.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Sinners are much more fun. You know that only the good die young. Oh, baby. I tell you, only the good die young. Only the good die young.
It is 9:20 on this 10th day of May right here in the heart of the Riverbend. That is downtown Alton. Hey, my internet came back on. How cool is that? Shannon Stelling on the line now. Home builders and remodelers of the Metro East. Good morning, Shannon. Oh, Shannon, I did that to you again. I had you muted.
Hi, CJ.
Oh, Shannon, I do that to everybody. I have a great lead-in, you know. I'm feeling the music, have Billy Joel playing for you, a great lead-in, and I forgot to hit the, unmute button.
It happens.
So, really appreciate your time this morning, Shannon, and take us through, just if you could, give us some insights and fill me in on the home builders and remodelers of the Metro East as a whole.
Well, the Home Builders Remodelers Metro East Association is an association that works with our builders in the community, all the way from Jerseyville, Illinois, down to Carroll, Illinois. And we work with builders, we work with electricians, plumbers. The whole purpose of our association and organization is threefold. One is to have a voice in our state and local and national government on items and things that affect the home building industry. And our goal is to always make housing affordable. That is a win for the builders, and that is a win for the consumer. So we're out there fighting behind the scenes every day. In fact, this morning we just had a bill come across our desk that was a really big deal, that we had to make sure everybody got out there and filled out witness slips and had their voices heard at the state level before this bill is voted on this afternoon. And it's to benefit consumers and builders both alike. And we're open to builders, plumbers, electricians, or mortgage companies. There's many, many different members of our association that represent the overall housing industry. In some way or another, they're involved in the housing industry. And we're a not-for-profit organization, and we are the voice of that community, so to speak.
It seems like, you guys have a very important role. And I got to ask you just right off the bat, how many members do you have, if you could ballpark it, in your organization?
Here in our chapter, around 250. Wow. We're the largest in the state of Illinois. We even beat out Chicago. So
that's impressive. Hey, we finally won one. We got one on Chicago.
Exactly. It's a very active organization. It's a big organization. Our members are very involved. They're very engaged, and they truly want to make a difference in the industry. And we work with the unions. We work with non-union. We go both ways across the board there, and our voice is important as a whole, fighting for, again, the housing industry and then also the trades industry. Yeah. One of our big platforms this year is really pushing the trades in the schools, and we're working with a grant that was provided through the state of Illinois through an organization called TAKE, and putting kids to work right out of high school with many of our members' companies, and the grant pays their salaries. That's another benefit of being a member of the Home Builders Remodelers Association. So, go ahead.
Well,
go ahead, DJ.
It's just, not to cut you off, that's just huge because, time and time again, I feel like, and this is coming from somebody who's been a part of, the I guess, the trade business. My family owned and rigged and sewer service for, over 50 years. Mm-hmm. And I tell people, to me, I think we always cast the shadow on trade schools, but I know so many kids that have, that are my age, Shannon, that have gone to trade schools and doing a hell of a lot better than I am right now because they learn that skill, and it's so crucial.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And it's unbelievable how much is not known about the income opportunity available in the trades. Another role that the Home Builders Remodelers Association played that's a very important role is working with our United Contractors Council, and we were part of the new union contract negotiations this year. And there's a package put together, and this isn't the exact numbers yet, but it's close, that a kid coming out of high school that goes into the trade program with our contractors, with the contractors union, is they can earn around $65,000 package.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible. I mean,
Wow.
and it's not every kid is meant to go to college, it's just not for everybody. Not that college is a bad thing, but it's a great alternative. Another thing to talk about that, CJ, that I'll mention is there's a bill, there's actually a law that the public is probably not very aware of yet, but in the school year 2028 and 2029, there's a new law that's going into effect where every student in the state of Illinois to graduate from high school in Illinois is going to be required to take 2 years of foreign language. Now, most people might think, well, that's not a bad thing, but let's peel it back, okay? If you have to take 2 years of foreign language and you have no intent on going to college, that then eliminates some of the opportunity you may have to take trade classes like construction or welding or nurse's aid or early childhood. So that's an example of something we're in the process of working with a couple of our local representatives, and it's a bipartisan approach. Katie Stewart and Katie Eilick, a Republican and a Democrat, we're working with them to say, let's get an amendment to that bill. Let's get it to where you have the choice to take 2 foreign languages or take trade classes so that it can fit the narrative for all students and not force everybody to do what you need just to go to college. So those are some of the examples of some of the activities and the things that we work on here at the HBR. And there's tons of benefits for our members, too. They get discounts on a national level because they're part of this association, because remember, we're local, we're state, and we're national.
Wow.
The National Home Builders Association out of Washington, D.C. is huge, and they support all of our efforts.
Well,
I could go on and on,
no,
TJ.
I mean, I'm just blown. I wasn't going to cut you off because I thought, this is just incredible. And the thing is that I love about this, Shannon, is I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think a lot of people are like me that we're learning about this going, why did we not know about a lot of this sooner, or, know more about this organization sooner? And I'm telling you what, I love that with the bill, because you're right. Everyone needs to have the choice, okay? And it's a great thing to bring Amy Ellikin and Katie Stewart and being able to, go across the aisle. That speaks volumes on an organization. And to be able to, in this stage in our political climate, to get bipartisan anything is impressive.
Yep.
I mean, that's impressive.
Well, and there's so many things out there that, we aren't aware of. Another example, we go to lobby days up in Springfield. We were just up there a couple of weeks ago. There were about eight or nine of us that went up, and we spent the whole day talking to our representatives, talking to senators at the state capitol, saying, look, here's the things that are important to this industry, and it ultimately has a direct impact on consumers because it keeps housing affordable. Another example of a bill would be SB 40. It's another bill that has been signed into law, and we fought and got some amendments to it so it was more affordable for consumers to buy their home. And it had to do with electric charging stations. And, we were able to get it modified so the expense wasn't going to be as much. And we're out there behind the scenes. We're out there in the front, too, but we're really working hard behind the scenes at the local, state, and national level to make sure that things stay in line the way they need to so they don't have a negative impact that's long-lasting in our housing industry.
This is absolutely phenomenal, and I can't thank you enough for calling it. I have a few more questions. It might take a little bit longer than I told you, but this is really fascinating to me. I want to get your insights really briefly on just, you hit on it a little bit earlier, but just to segue fully into it now, what's your kind of gauge in your position on, the support that you guys receive, the industry receives from our local, political leaders and, legislators?
I'm going to say it's amazing because there aren't a lot of things in today's climate, as you said earlier, that are bipartisan, that you can reach across the aisles and you can get Republicans and Democrats and independents all working together. And we get support from many of them, whether they're Democrat, Republican, or independent. And there's some that are very supportive. Senator Jason Plummer, he is a cheerleader for the Home Builders Remodelers Association. Katie Stewart, as I mentioned, there are several things that we can align with her on. Amy Ellick, but they're very open and receptive to hear what we say because they're not the experts in the home building industry. The people that own the companies, the people that are out there working in the trenches, the people that are out there dealing with all the regulations and the things that come down the pipeline, they're the experts. So they're eager to listen to our membership to hear what they have to say about things that are going to impact the industry, which ultimately impacts the consumers who are their voters. And they want, so that's a positive thing, because not everybody can say that they have a voice or are heard, but we truly are. I think at the lobby day in Springfield, if I'm remembering correctly, we had 7 representatives and senators stop by in an hour window in a meeting we were having. They came to us and said, what's going on? Here's what we'd like to update you on. What can you update us on? So that's an unusual component, has been my experience in the political environment, but it's very refreshing that they are supportive and want to hear what we have to say.
Well, you're absolutely right, and it's very refreshing on my end to know that, because to me, it's we perceive a lot of times, I think, as the public, that political leaders don't take into account, the actual individual that's, doing the act, that's working the industry, that really knows it. But to know that they're using you as a resource and to really make this, beneficial for the consumer and for the, and for the supplier is really just essentially just something great to hear. And I got to ask you, Shannon, how long have you been with the organization?
Okay, don't laugh. I've been here 7 weeks.
What? Okay, that's amazing.
I've been here 7 weeks, but I'm extremely passionate about what this organization stands for and what they're doing. I've known of the organization and had involvement with it for years through different chamber functions and other things across my business career. But in the actual position as executive officer, it's been about 7 weeks. But I've learned a lot in that 7 weeks. I've been involved in a lot already, and I'm extremely passionate about the goals that we have and the things we're trying to accomplish.
Well, I'll say this. I would have never thought you would have been 7 weeks into this role. I mean, I don't know if it's, just how passionate you are. All I can tell you is you sounded like you've been doing this for, 30 years and this is just something it's like second nature. In the 7 weeks, Shannon, I got to ask you, was there something that really opened your eyes going, wow, this organization was more important or more influential than I even thought it was?
When we went to Lobby Day 3 weeks ago, I think that was a very big eye-opener. It was my first interaction directly live in a group setting with the politicians. I had many phone calls in those first few weeks, and I had a lot of emails. But to see the true meaning that they truly want to hear what we had to say, that was, it helped fire my passion even more, because I think people get very discouraged easily, and I think they get very frustrated with our political situation in today's world. And, the moral of the lesson that I walked away from that lobby day was we can't ever give up. Our voice is important. Our message is important. And no matter what the topic is, one of the little things that I've learned recently is witness slips. Anybody can go on and fill a witness slip out about a particular bill or an amendment to a bill that they're either opposed to or support. And it takes less than 3 minutes. And you can go online, right on the website. It literally takes less than 3 minutes. You put your name, your address, your phone number, and you say, I'm opposed or I support this. And you can do it as an individual or on behalf of an organization. And we do have the ability to have a voice out there if we take the effort, spend the time, and we reach out and we read and we talk to people. So I think that was probably, to answer your question in a long answer, that was probably, one of the biggest eye-openers so far. They really do want to hear what we have to say. And I don't think the GQ Public, which I was, say, 7 weeks ago, I don't know that I really believe they really wanted to hear what we had to say, but they do. And that excites me, and it tells me that there's so much potential and opportunity for positive things to happen, both within the state of Illinois and across this country.
You're absolutely right. And just to hear that, though, is really refreshing for me, from my standpoint, because I'm right there with you 7 weeks ago. I kind of just assumed that was the case, but to really know that there's organizations like what you guys are doing and so many others that are really, making sure that, we're still being heard, that you guys are still being heard and protected, it's really great to hear. Now, we have a couple of minutes left, Shannon. Let me ask you, how can we become a part of, let's say we are a plumber or, mortgage, we're meet the qualifiers. How can we be a part of this association, which to me is a no-brainer?
Yeah, so they need to reach out to the office. They can email me at eo@hbrmea.org. They can go on our website, or they can call the HBR office locally. We do have a vetting process. We review every application that comes in for membership. It goes before our board of directors for approval, and then they get to benefit from all the benefits that are seen and many that aren't seen. There is a fee to join the association, just like there is any association, but I tell people when they talk to me about it, it's like an insurance policy. We're here when you don't even know you need us. We're out there fighting for you for this industry. There's all kinds of benefits available at the national level to our members, and then there's benefits available at the local level, things that if you're not part of the HBA, you can't participate in or you may not get to do. So it's a wonderful organization that really is here. My whole job is to support all of our members in this association and continue to fight for them. So they can call 618-343-6331 again, or email at eo@hbrmea.org.
This is just incredible. And Shannon, I know you mentioned earlier in the conversation we were having about some of your, I heard maybe a meetup thing. Do you guys do events similar to that where if someone wants to learn more, how can we stay up to date on that information?
Well, if they go to our website, everything is up to date on there, and some of our social events. For example, Friday this week, we have a sport clay shoot at Nilo Farms, and it's open to the public to participate. We have some gentlemen actually coming from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, who have nothing to do with our organization that heard about the event. They called me and said, we have a team that would like to come and shoot in the sport shoot. So we have that. We have a golf tournament coming up in July. There's all kinds of different events that people can participate in, both public and members. So it's a way that that they can learn more about our organization, and just stay on our website and follow what's happening, and they'll learn all the things that they need to know.
This is just incredible. Shannon, I told you 10 to 15, and we're going 20 minutes because I just think you guys are wonderful. This has been a really insightful conversation, and my only other question for you right now is if there's anything else that's important, any bills being passed or getting looked at that's newsy, or you want to get out any more information about upcoming events and socials, please come back.
I absolutely will. There is one today that's being voted on at 3 o'clock. It's SB 837. And if you go to the hearing notice for state government, to that website, you can actually put in a voting slip, a witness slip to say that you oppose the bill. It's more regulations that are trying to be passed where basically gives manufacturers in China a leg up over manufacturers in the U.S. of flooring products. And it's going to be costly to the consumer if this bill is passed. So we are opposed to it as an organization, and we encourage everyone. SB 837, it's voted on at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
And we'll make sure we throw that information in the on-demand interview of this show. So when it's out at 11:30 today, people that want to stay up to date on that can do so. Shannon,
absolutely, CJ.
I really appreciate your time. Please come back whenever you'd like to, and have a great rest of your Wednesday.
All right. Thanks so much. And tell all your listeners I appreciate their support of the HBR as well.
Absolutely. At 9:39 on this 10th day of May, Shannon Stelling, thank you so much for your time. We'll be back with more of our daily show after this.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mung & Ass Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mung & Ass Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mung & Ass Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices. Located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
It's alright. I will get by. I will get by. I will get by.
9:43, right back here on this 10th day of May. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show. How's your guys' morning going? Let me know, 618-759-7469. Text me. We got some great guests still. Shannon Stelling with the Home Builders and Remodelers Association, the Metro East chapter. Fantastic conversation, and we'll keep you updated on SB 387 in regards to that that bill that would basically essentially help the flooring industry of China. We'll see how that goes, and we'll keep you updated, but just a great conversation, and then some more great conversations coming up. We're going to be talking to Dr. Kumar with OSF Healthcare and St. Anthony's Health Center, going to talk a little bit more about, colon cancer, which Is it, one of those things that's not, fun to talk about, but it's always something that's insightful. When's the right time to get a colonoscopy? When, how old do you need to be if there's any, history of colon cancer? When does that process start? All those insightful things to just put a bug in your ear and keep you guys, informed and in the know on any of your, health and lifestyle needs, and a really great conversation. And then we're going to be talking to Dallas Smarts and the new River Dragons manager. I'm excited about that. That's at 10:30, so a great show for the rest of this broadcast day, and really looking forward to it. I think it's been a successful week. But while I'm talking about all the things coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, there's one thing that I wanted to talk about too. With the spring season of high school, sports wrapping up. But with that being said, summer camp's getting ready to start. I know we're going to be talking to Brian Hayner with Marquette Catholic on Friday, talking about the upcoming, soccer camps and things like that. But with that being said, something that always bothered me as an athlete and everything I did was, the H word, the hernia. It's something that really could just ruin a season, especially if you are trying to get that physical done and they spot something and then all of a sudden you aren't playing for a couple of months. Well, what's the difference between a hernia and a sports hernia? Well, Dr. Kumar, who will be on the show in just about 30 minutes or so, filling us in on this. And when you're watching, a basketball game on television and you hear coaches and announcers saying the star player's missing time with a hernia, well, it's very serious stuff. I know of one individual that was playing basketball and I'm not going to say cheated the physical, but I'm going to say cheated the physical and got the, individual. I don't know which doctor it was or what office, but I do know it happened. And they, I do know, I can't say. Anyway, they rushed through this physical. His hernia ruptures. And I have never seen an individual in more pain in my life on the basketball court. A sports hernia is different than a hernia that's suffered in everyday life, says Raman Kumar is an MD and a colorectal surgeon and general surgeon at OSF Healthcare. But he's saying that each should be taken very seriously. Dr. Kumar says a hernia is when an internal organ or a piece of fat goes through a hole in an abdominal wall. The most common type, around 80%, is what you call an inguinal hernia, when a part of the intestine pushes through the abdominal wall into the lower belly. That's, also called the groin, and anyone can get a hernia, even newborns. But Dr. Kumar says that they are seen more in older men. Symptoms include a bulge or swelling in the abdominal area and pain when moving. A lot of chronic heavy lifting can cause hernias, said Dr. Kumar, and other things weaken that abdominal wall, such as diabetes and smoking. Being obese causes a lot of weight hanging down on that abdominal wall. If you've had surgery in the past, that's also a risk factor. So be mindful when lifting objects. Dr. Kumar advises, lift with your knees, not your back, or don't try to lift heavy items. Get a cart or a partner to help you, and you can eat healthy and exercise to avoid obesity, diabetes, and avoid alcohol and cigarettes. It's fascinating to me, and I'm not going to ask Dr. Kumar about this, but I want to ask eventually, just how many things smoking and drinking really affect. I think the answer is everything. So if you have, Dr. Kumar says, an exterior wrap known as a hernia belt or an abdominal binder can be a short-term solution, but surgery is often the end game. If you have a hole or a defect, it needs to be closed, Dr. Kumar says. The reason we fix hernias is because we don't want a loop of intestine or bowel to get into the hernia, twist off, and die. That would make a person very sick and possibly, well, it could even threaten their life, Dr. Kumar says. So when it comes to, sports hernias, Dr. Kumar says that a sports hernia is a muscle tear in the groin area. They're seen in athletes due to all the twisting, turning, and bending that comes with, some of those games and competitions. Dr. Kumar says stretch before you do any type of activity. Work and develop your core muscles, including your abdominal and hip muscles. And Dr. Kumar says if the muscles are strong, they are less likely to tear. Athletes who complain of groin pain, it should immediately leave the competition and get checked out by a trainer or a doctor. Resting and icing the groin will help, but a combination of medication, physical therapy, or surgery will likely be needed to fully heal. You have to be proactive with this. If you have symptoms of a hernia or even a sports hernia, Dr. Kumar says to see a healthcare provider right away. 9 times out of 10, we determine you have a hernia based on a physical exam, Dr. Kumar says. But for more complicated cases, your doctor may order you an ultrasound or a CAT scan. Then the provider will develop a treatment plan for you following that. It's just something I saw and really thought of. Just some insightful information ahead of our, interview and conversation with Dr. Kumar, just to get some more insights on, some of the great work that, he does, and just to, keep us all informed and in the know when it comes to these things. And while I have you, before we take a break for top of the hour news, the Alton Community Service League at the final meeting of the year lived up to its mission statement, which is women volunteering individually and collectively for the betterment and the beautification of the Alton Godfrey area. The total hours that were volunteered by all members was 2,517 hours, with a total market value of $75,384.15. This year's Silver Bowl recipient, the member who volunteered the most hours, is Sandra Gakin, pictured in the Riverbender article, are the women who received the honor of being the Volunteer of the Month throughout the 2022 and 23 season. The Alton Community Service League has, again, through the help of the community, raised funds for area beautification and nonprofits. Those grants, they total, get this, $12,106.48. They were awarded to the following: Charitable Girl Scouts of Southern Illinois, the Alton Youth Symphony, the Alton Area Animal Aid Association, Seasons of Life, Thrive Metro East, Serving Area Kids, Soups On, YMCA, iMerge, the Jersey County Arts Council, and also Beautification, Riverbend Head Start and Family Services, Senior Services Plus, Lewis and Clark Community College Foundation, and the Lewis and Clark Society of America. How great is that to have great community organizations like the Alton Community Service League really just doing great work and, really just doing phenomenal things. And speaking of, an organization doing phenomenal things is the Alton Symphony Orchestra, which I am bummed because I was going to go to the concert on April the 29th, an evening with the Masters, but unfortunately had a little bit of some, illness going on, so I was unable to attend. But the orchestra president, Jessica Podig, said after the concert, it was a good night of music, and the audiences were great, too. We've been performing for the Alton area community for over 75 years, and it was a lot of fun. Jessica went on to say that our conductor, Maestro Shane Williams, she said, we're very lucky to have someone of his talent and dedication to our orchestra. The next Alton Symphony Orchestra event will be their annual trivia night, Saturday, May the 13th. The doors open at 6 p.m. at the Alton VFW, Post 1308 in Alton. For more information about future concerts, fundraising, musicians, auditions, and more, you can go to altonsymphonyorchestra.org. That's altonsymphonyorchestra.org. Randy Manning taking some great shots of the symphony, and you can find those at randymanning.com. Another great thing about Randy is he was out on Saturday during the Kentucky Derby, and man, my sinuses are good to me. Well, he was out during the Kentucky Derby, and let me tell you guys this, Randy was in action, and it's great to know that, RiverBender.com has so many dedicated staff members like Randy who, are going out and taking, photos and really just capturing memories, because there's so many times, and I don't know if you guys do this, but I do, where, you kind of take I call it a stroll down memory lane when you go on to, Riverbender, or even just go on Google and you search for something that you did, 10 years ago. I just told you guys about before my dad got the coaching job back at Alton High that literally a week before I was just on Riverbender and said, Alton Girls Soccer, 2008, 2009, to, see little CJ out there on the sidelines with his dad. But, so many of, all of our memories really have been captured by Riverbender over the last 16 years. And Randy was out there again capturing more moments, and probably one of the only, pictures my mom and I have taken together, by ourselves ever. And it was just one of those things where, to have that, I don't want to say, to have that, component is really just something you can't put a price tag on. So if you ever see Randy out taking some shots, make sure you tell him thank you, and just keep supporting RandyManning.com, and great to have just such a great, add-on and just a great photographer with us too. So, like I said, AltonSymphonyOrchestra.com for more concert information. Shane Williams joins the show quite a bit, and we talk about those shows and performances. And like I said, really bummed I missed that last concert on the 29th. It's, man, geez, sinuses. I was telling the guys upstairs, and I finally got it, okay? So I never, I don't consider myself a whiner. I mean, I'm a complainer. Don't get me wrong. If the sky's gray, the sky's gray, and it's raining, I'm going to complain about it raining. But all of a sudden, I finally, the last couple of weeks, I've not been feeling the best. My voice is a little bit broken and weak and everything else. So I'm going up there for lunch, and I said, I just have not been feeling good lately. And one coworker at the lunch table says, well, you've been sick for like 3 months. And all of a sudden the realization hit me that I'm actually a whiner. I don't know. It was just like, wow, okay, I guess you're right. I have been complaining about this for, months. So with that being said, I'm finally on the tail end of this, and we got a great 10 o'clock hour to get me out of it some more with Dr. Kumar and OSF St. Anthony's Health Center. We're going to be talking to Dallas Smarts and the Alton River Dragons, and going to have some great conversations with you. 618-759-7469. That's 618-759-7469. And remember, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's Alton Little Theater and Ding Dong, the show you don't want to miss. I'm telling you this. I told you guys, this segment with Alton Little Theater, Theater Thursdays, has taken off, and I mean really taken off. You guys are loving the videos. You're loving Lee Cox. You're loving Kevin Frakes. You're loving Alton Little Theater, just like we've all done for the past 89 years. They are concluding their 89th season this weekend with Ding Dong, and for everyone that's looking for some Mother's Day plans, the matinee on Sunday is at 2 p.m. That is perfect timing to go out to Alton Little Theater, watch a hilarious play, get some dinner at one of the great lunch establishments, or maybe get an early lunch, and then just enjoy the day with your mom. But right now, too, if you go to RiverBender.com Shop Local tab, if you're interested, we got you a little treat. Additionally, a 10% off discount if you get season tickets before May the 31st. That is $20 per show. $20 per show. Good luck finding anything that cheap for the quality of the show that you are receiving. The best entertainers in our region coming out and really just showing up each and every performance. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss Ding Dong. The most just exciting, but just the most hilarious show that I've seen in a very, very long time. Get your tickets now. AltonLittleTheater.org. That's AltonLittleTheater.org. 9:57. A quick break. Top of the hour news next.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With anyone, it's not unusual to be sad with anyone. But if I ever find
it is 10:01, 10 o'clock hour rolling your way. And the 618, soon to be the 738. How about that? This new area code thing is, gonna fool with a lot of people. We'll keep you updated when those area code changes go into effect. We'll take you to top of the hour news now at 10:01 on this 10th day of May. And make sure you guys sign up for your daily email update and join tens of thousands, almost 70,000 now. We keep growing with Around the Riverbend every morning at 7:30. Statewide and national news powered by the Associated Press and your daily dose of local news and sports from RiverBender.com. Also in that email, events, classified listings, and everything else you need to get yourself through the day. We'll give you an update now on that traffic crash in Alton yesterday at 10 a.m. on Tuesday, May the 9th. The Alton Police Department was made aware of a head-on traffic crash near the intersection of Martin Luther King Drive and 10th Street. Officers and members of the Alton Fire Department arrived on the scene and discovered 2 vehicles that were involved in the crash. Preliminary investigations revealed that a gold 2003 Chevrolet S10 pickup was traveling northbound on Martin Luther King when it crossed over the center line and struck a white 2016 Nissan Rogue that was traveling southbound. Alton Police Chief Jarrett Ford quoted as saying, Jarrett Ford went on to say that both vehicles sustained extensive damage and the driver of the Nissan was transported to a local hospital and later to a St. Louis area hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the Chevrolet was transported to a local hospital by an Alton Fire Department ambulance for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. The cause of the accident remains under investigation at this time. Also in the news today, Salvation Army Week will kick off with a Dine to Donate program on Monday, May the 15th, and will continue through Sunday, May the 21st. 7 area businesses will donate a generous percentage of their proceeds to the organization on a designated day. Funds received will help youth in our area through the after-school program, the summer reading program, and summer camps. Participating establishments include Monday, May the 15th, Scooters, Godfrey, and Glen Carbon locations participating in the Dine and Donate event. On Tuesday, May the 16th, my sister's birthday, Martin Tunes and Eats in Wood River participating. Wednesday, May the 17th, Brown Bag Bistro in Alton participating in Dine to Donate. On Thursday, May the 18th, Santino's in Alton participating. Friday, May 19th, Josephie's Tea Room in Godfrey. On the 20th of May, that Saturday, My Just Desserts in Alton will be participating in Dine to Donate, and they wrap it up with Bakers and Hale in Godfrey on Sunday, May the 21st. The Salvation Army said it is extremely grateful to these generous businesses for their support, and they encourage members of the community to patronize these establishments, especially during Salvation Army Week. Also in the news today, the Country Financial Insurance agent Nathan Whitman was pleased to support the Jerseyville Fire Department last weekend with a $1,500 donation as part of the company's Operation Helping Heroes program. The funds will be used for additional supplies. A quote, "We appreciate our local firemen and we thank them for their dedication and commitment to the community," Whitman said. The Operation Helping Heroes program was created in 2015 to support nonprofit events and programs that benefit active duty service members, veterans, and their families. Later, the program expanded to include first responders and to include teachers. Country Financial and Insurance and Financial Services Company has donated more than $5 million since 2020 to organizations and programs that support teachers, first responders, active duty service members, veterans, and supporting the company's vision, to quote, enrich the lives in the communities that we serve. One final bit of news for you today. The annual Ballin' with the Cop program last weekend was once again a way for Alton police officers to reach out to the younger generation in a very positive way. The event was held from noon to 2 p.m. this past Saturday at the YWCA of Alton and featured a great afternoon of basketball, three-point contests, and even a free throw contest. A quote, "The officers didn't fare too well against the kids, but everyone had a blast," a quote from Alton Police Chief Jarrett Ford. "It's a wonderful event to bring the community together and to build good relationships." Chief Ford went on to thank the precious organization, YWCA, Tammy Smith, and all the others who helped put on and participate in this event. The chief wrapped up by saying, "We look forward to doing it again." At 10:06 on this 10th day of May, that's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. But before we take a quick break, got a little bit of business for you. Alton VFW Post 1308 is starting a brand new segment on this show called Salute to Service. This is where we get to rediscover Post 1308 and the enormous impact that they make on our community. You know, there's so many things that Alton VFW has a hand in, that's a part of in our community that honestly, I don't think we know too much about. I mean, think about this. Alton VFW Post 1308 is a part of so many things, and whether or not you've rented out the hall for an event or you just stopped by the canteen for dinner or participated in so many of those great community service projects, Alton VFW has been there for us and will continue to be there for us. And we highlight those contributions with Salute to Service every month right here on our daily show. So in the meantime, before Salute to Service happens, head on over and meet me at the canteen, where we get to hang out in the Prairie State Gaming Room with brand new slot machines, have the coldest drinks, and just have a great time catching up with old friends, making new ones, and getting to speak with the individuals that served our country with honor. It all happens at the Alton VFW Post 1308. For more information, VFWpost1308.org.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
It is 10:11 right here on this 10th day of May. Dr. Rum and Kumar. Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
I have a vicious text line. Like vicious. And there's a game they play with me. It started out of nowhere. Well, it's not really a game. I think it's just them criticizing me. But mentally, it's a game, so I stay positive. And, I get about 80 texts when I mispronounce a name. So they really, they let me know.
Appreciate it.
And, really appreciate your insights today on this because not very many people know this, but, colon cancer is something that's pretty, prominent in my family and something that we've experienced. And, I was telling people at 9 o'clock, Dr. Kumar, that I said, here's what we're talking about today on the show. And I said, at 9:01, you don't want to hear about colonoscopies, but especially right now with so many people reevaluating their lifestyle, reevaluating their health goals, there's no better time to talk about just how important being, in the know about your colon health and colon cancer as a whole. And thank you so much for hanging out this morning.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the invite.
So right off the bat, I would really like to talk about just, colonoscopies and colon cancer and, why are colonoscopies important? Just right off the bat, it seems like a softball, but I think it's an important one.
Sure. I appreciate the question. So colorectal cancer, if you take out skin cancer, colon cancer is the third most common cancer in men and women. Wow. So in men, number 1 is lung, then prostate, and then colorectal. In women, it's lung, breast, and then colorectal. Wow. So out of those 3, colon cancer is the one that's actually truly preventable in the majority of cases because most colon cancers and most rectal cancers start off as polyps. Polyps are tiny little things that can grow inside your colon. And if we do a colonoscopy, we can go there, take the polyps out, see if it is precancerous or if it has already turned to cancer or if it's benign. And that's the only truly way to prevent somebody from getting colon cancer. So colonoscopies are important. It's part of preventative maintenance.
I like that word, by the way. That's one of my favorites because it's something that we use in we used it in the sewer cleaning business too, preventative maintenance. But You're right. I mean, to me, this really is preventative maintenance.
Oh, correct. I mean, you change the oil. You change the oil in your car, every 5 to 10,000 miles. If you don't change the oil, the engine's going to seize up. So then you're looking at an engine rebuild or a new engine. Versus if you do a colonoscopy, you potentially have prevented yourself from getting colon cancer. Versus me having to go in there under the operating room and cutting you open and taking out part of your colon. Right. And depending on where your colon cancer is, you may need additional chemotherapy and some other interventions. So I think one day of drinking a lot of stuff that makes you go poop a lot, and then the next day having a procedure done where you get the best sleep ever, I think that's a small price to pay.
I think you're absolutely right. And, with that being said, I've heard, the age of stardom. I mean, just in my family, right when someone turns 45, the conversation starts to become more prominent. But by 50, definitely, everyone in my family has had one by that. What is the age to get it? Does having a history of it in your family, kind of contribute to that?
So for the average person, they used to start them at the age of 50. The reason they did that is that in America, if you were to get colon cancer, more than likely you would be in your 60s and 70s. So they would start 10 years before.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, we were missing people in the 50s getting colon cancer. So 2 years ago, the guidelines changed, and the recommendation now is 45. Now, the exceptions are, one, family history. So if there's some member of your family, like your mom, dad, brother, sister, who have had colon cancer, let's say they got colon cancer at the age of 40, then you would go down and start 10 years before, which would be 30. So it'll be 10 years before the affected person or the age of 40, whichever one is earlier. Now, obviously, the other reasons are, let's say you have bleeding out your bottom end, and despite medical therapy, you take your fiber supplements, you do everything to, get the blood to go away. Let's say it was hemorrhoids, but the bleeding still happens, then you need a colonoscopy to make sure there's nothing else going on.
That's very fascinating. And before I jump to anything else, I wanted to ask you very briefly, because I've seen some things, going around the newsrooms and the wires of AP, and one of them was younger people, developing colon cancer earlier. Is that a thing that you've kind of seen?
Actually, that's the reason why we're going earlier, because from basically, we said that people in the 60s and 70s were getting colon cancer, but because we have done colonoscopies, that age group actually has a decreasing incidence, meaning that we're catching colon polyps and colon cancers way earlier.
Wow.
Unfortunately, since 1975, colon cancer is up 50% from 1975 to now in people under the age of 50. I mean, Marvel, the Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, he died at the age of 43 from stage 4 colon cancer in 2020. He was diagnosed in 2016 at the age of 39. So, it's important to get your colonoscopies, and it's not, you don't want to brush off, so, this is bleeding and it'll go away in a certain amount of time.
And why does it seem like, to me, and to me, it seems like the men have a harder time of, kind of throwing their hat in the ring and doing this. And it seems like it might not just be for colonoscopies, but for a lot of other medical procedures too. I'm fine. I'm not hurting.
Yeah, that's the typical guy thing.
Yep, that's a good point.
This is why we're married.
That's true.
We need somebody,
to
get us to go to the doctor occasionally. No, I mean, it's both men and women. I've had patients where a couple comes into the office and the man is like, yes, I need a colonoscopy. The woman's like, oh, I don't need one. But again, colon cancer is number 3 in men and women.
Yeah.
So both men and women do need to have a colonoscopy. It's a lot easier to, as we said, to prevent something from happening than it is to take care of it after it's happened.
Well, you've hit some great points. I mean, even like a couple of minutes ago, Dr. Kumar, when you said, you're going to have a day of, going to the bathroom.
Yeah, the bowel prep is the worst part, unfortunately.
And you know what? I'm just going to be the guy that's honest. I harass everybody I know that's getting ready to do the cleanse, and I find out who's going through one. And I always send texts throughout the day like, oh, it's only going to get worse until it happens, Well, and to me, you're right, because this is just a little speed bump to make sure that you're going to have a lot less stress, dealing with this later on. And I've noticed that there are some people that do, it's almost like a testing kit instead of
Cologuard.
Except instead of colonoscopies. What are some of these alternatives like Cologuard?
Sure. So the one that's been out on the market and a lot of marketing is Cologuard. So it's a DNA test. So basically you submit a stool sample to the lab and they actually look at the DNA. So when you rub your hands together, you're shedding cells and the cells have DNA. So every time you have a bowel movement, there is DNA from the colon on the bowel movement.
Gotcha.
So it does not detect normal DNA. It detects abnormal, meaning something that has changed. So if you have colon cancer, the DNA will be a little bit different. So it'll detect the cancer DNA. If you have polyps, it'll detect some of the changes in the DNA from the polyps. Now, there are advantages to that. One, you don't have to do a bowel prep.
Right.
Two, you don't have to take a day off work and come to the hospital and have the colonoscopy. It is good in the fact that if you are negative, you're 99% sure that you do not have colon cancer.
That's what I was going to ask, yeah.
But it is only about 60 to 70% accurate if you have polyps, meaning it misses about 30 to 40% of polyps.
Wow.
Right? So polyps are the ones that cause colon cancer. Well, some are. So it misses a good chunk of polyps. Now, you can also have positive Cologuard. That does not automatically mean you have colon cancer. That means there's some kind of abnormal DNA. So I've done a lot of colonoscopies on people who have had positive Cologuards, and they've had polyps, or some have been negative. There's about a 12% false positive rate. So Cologuard is good if you, the way I use Cologuard is that if you're able to have a colonoscopy, get a colonoscopy. If you're unable to have a colonoscopy, meaning you cannot do a bowel prep, or your medical condition doesn't permit you to go under anesthesia, or you just can't do it, then yeah, having that reassurance is good. However, it does not detect all the polyps. It does not detect all, it does not detect a lot the minority of colon cancers. If it is positive, there's a possibility you already have colon cancer.
Okay.
So if you have colon cancer, you have to have a colonoscopy anyway, and you have to have surgery in order to get the colon out. And until recently, if you had a Cologuard that was positive and then you had to have a colonoscopy, that colonoscopy was considered diagnostic, meaning you had to pay more out of pocket.
Got you.
Under the Obamacare rules, colonoscopies are considered screening and are preventative maintenance, so they're covered. But if you've had a positive Cologuard, then that would change that. They just changed the rules on that, so that's okay. The way that I see it is that, would you rather detect a leak in your basement, or would you rather prevent a leak in your basement? So the Cologuard will detect a leak in your basement, versus a colonoscopy can prevent a leak in your basement. And Cologuard is meant only for people who have no risk of colon cancer, meaning that there is no family history of colon cancer, meaning that they don't have a personal history of polyps or a personal history of cancer, meaning they don't have anything like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis or any other Lynch syndrome, like a family hereditary of colon cancer. So there are a lot of things, and that's directly off their website.
Wow.
Or if you've had another positive colon cancer screening in 6 months. So Cologuard has its place. I think in the future, as the technology improves, you may not even need to have a colonoscopy, but you do need to have some kind of preventative maintenance to make sure you don't have the number 3 cancer in the United States. So my recommendation, sorry to interrupt.
No,
my
you're
recommendation right now is still to get a colonoscopy if you're able to.
And that's what I was kind of going to lead into next, because that's really fascinating stuff. Because I actually, when you said that, I know of somebody who, and it's not related to me, but it's kind of in that similar situation as me. That's an older adult, not senior citizen, but in middle age, and has a history of it in the family, and they gave the individual Cologuard instead of saying let's. So it's very fascinating, actually. Very fascinating. And I think we know the answer to this question, but to me, in your experience, what are the consequences of really not following this through and sucking it up for a day and really getting the preventative maintenance taken care of?
I mean, if you don't get a colonoscopy, and, I hope that they don't get colon cancer, I mean, that could be a result.
Yeah.
It's like not changing the oil in a car. Your engine could seize up. Or doing the preventative maintenance, you don't clear the leaves out of your gutter, and next thing you know, you get flood damage.
Yep.
So that's the risk. I mean, it is the third most common cancer if you exclude skin cancers in the United States, and it is preventable.
And that's the thing that just amazes me, that something that's the third most common is preventable. Does that kind of amaze you too, or is that just fascinating? I don't know. It's just very fascinating to me. As you can tell, my medical degree stopped at WebMD, but it just amazes me that something we can prevent is so common.
Yeah.
Wow. And now with that being said, what do we know about colon cancer? Some of the symptoms, what it looks like that, I'm not saying, if you're experiencing these that you need to go see it right away, but just something that we can do to kind of give us that mental checklist of what to look for.
So one of the first signs, most common signs, are change in your bowel habits. Like you were having, nice bowel movements. Now they've even gotten skinnier, or you're constipated, you can't pass them, or you had normal bowel movements, all of a sudden you're getting, more liquid bowel movements. So change in the bowel habits is one. Bleeding, if you see blood that cannot be explained by anything else like hemorrhoids or anything else, that's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Weight loss is usually more towards the end. You have fatigue, your blood counts could be low. Abdominal pain is usually not early symptom. It's usually a later symptom, meaning that it has spread somewhere else. So usually it's more of the change in the bowel movements, fatigue, you see blood on the toilet paper or in the stool. Those are the more common symptoms. Unfortunately, a lot of people get dismissed by having just hemorrhoids. And, just hemorrhoids, take some preparation H, which, by the way, it doesn't work. So it's just...
It doesn't work?
No.
That's very fascinating to me in itself.
Yeah.
How do you, because then we'll be here for 2 hours. I get it. But I gotta, that is very fascinating. But I wanted to hit on something that you said really quick, and I'll let you keep going. It's just, when you say blood, I've noticed too, because I've seen the charts in the doctor's office of different types of blood, or, if it's bright red or dark. What are we talking about? Is it any blood that's blood or?
It's blood.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
So it can be anywhere from red to black.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to know, because I didn't know if, because you Google it, which is, I'm a fool and I Google things.
That's okay,
that are
we all do it.
And then I think I'm, have a brain tumor eventually when I just had a paper cut, because it's like, well, I did have a headache last week. But, I saw that different colors of blood mean it, but it really doesn't. Here, blood's blood, get it taken care of.
If you have blood, go talk to your primary care physician.
Okay.
I can get into a lot of details about why stuff happens. It's beyond the scope of the show. But if you have bleeding that doesn't go away in about a week, go see your doctor.
Gotcha. That's very fascinating.
The key thing about hemorrhoids is basically you need to have a normal bowel movement. If you're having constipation or diarrhea, they're going to wreak havoc on your hemorrhoids and they're going to make you bleed.
Wow, that's actually really fascinating. And I didn't mean to cut you off. There are other diagnoses and treatments and things. I was cutting you off when I heard preparation H didn't work, and I went, whoa, okay, an entire generation was wrong.
Marketing is very effective. Let's leave it at that.
That's a great way to look at it. And now, when we're talking about prevalency of colon cancer, if that's a word, by the way, if it is a word, great word.
Yep.
Men and women, does it matter? Does it discriminate on gender, or is it the same in each gender?
Third most common in both.
That is just fascinating to me. I mean, really fascinating. And for, whether or not it's, eating habits, are there ways that we can, keep our colon health in tip-top shape?
So colon cancer, if you look at the worldwide statistics, it's more common in countries that have adopted a Western lifestyle, meaning a lot of meat, red meat, a lot of processed foods have been known to increase your chance of having colon cancer. If you look at countries like in Asia, like in India or Japan, they have lower risk of colon cancer. Japan has very high stomach cancer. That's because of the rice and the fish and some of the other items. But countries that have adopted a Western diet have noticed an increase in your colon cancer. So one thing is not getting enough fiber in the diet. You need at least 30 grams of fiber a day. Low fiber means that the bowel movement doesn't come out of the colon.
Gotcha.
Or regularly. And if it stays there, the more chance it has to alter the DNA. I mean, this is not going to happen in just, a week. This is going to be years
Gotcha.
process. So if you're chronically constipated, chronically dehydrated, chronically not getting enough fiber, the higher chance of doing that. Cigarettes, tobacco use, that definitely is up there. Because every whenever you inhale, it changes the lining of the mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, the bladder, the kidney, colon, like everything. So it causes a lot of changes in the DNA. So smoking, processed foods, and then obviously family history.
Yep.
So those are the three biggest ones.
This has just been a great conversation. I have learned so much from you, Dr. Kumar, and I really can't thank you enough.
Yeah,
And what's
thank
your
you.
before I let you go, what's your final, message, takeaway on colonoscopies and colon cancer? What's the final message to the Riverbender audience today?
Oh, there's so many. Where do I start? Pretty much preventative maintenance is the key.
Yep.
Get your colonoscopies when it's time for you to get a colonoscopy. The other thing is please don't ignore symptoms and say that, any bleeding is hemorrhoidal bleeding.
It's a great point. And I really can't thank you enough for some
Yeah,
great
sure.
insights. Anytime you want to come back on this show, you are more than welcome to, and really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Anytime. I could go on forever about hemorrhoids.
I'm telling you, when we started talking Preparation H, we could have been here until 9 a.m. tomorrow on this 10th day of May at 10:29. We'll take a quick break. Dallas Marts, the Alton River Dragons, they join us next.
Inspiring her dreams and helping her pursue them. That's why we protect your house and your car, because we know they're the launching pad to their dreams. And now you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. American Family Insurance.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
It is 10:31 on this 10th day of May. Dallas Mart's in front of me now. How are we doing today, man?
I am doing absolutely wonderful. It's baseball season,
It's baseball season with the NCBA, the River Dragons. It's exciting to be at Lloyd Hopkins Field this month.
Yeah, Marquette and Lewis and Clark's been a good warm-up act. McKinney University was a good warm-up act for the field this spring. But, we've got the NCBA Division II World Series. It starts a week from, Wednesday? A week from Friday. Wow. And then about a week after that on May 19th, we'll look here in a minute, but about a week after that, the following Friday, Division I will start. So big couple weeks, and then the national championship game for Division I is June 1st, and then our home opener is June 2nd for the River Dragons. So it's here.
Remember how to breathe in the next 2 weeks.
No
kidding.
kidding.
Hey, Jinx, look at that. We're on the same page today.
Right.
With that being said, though, how cool is it to know that you're going from college to high school playing there, then you're bringing in this big organization in the NCBA and having both divisions played, then having your a professional baseball team in literally a month? I mean, it really is. That's very, very impressive.
Well, thank you. It's been a whirlwind. It's been a lot of people's help and support. I can't say enough of how great the NCBA has been to work with over the last. We started working together, I think, it was back in November, and then it's. Our communication is almost every day now, getting ready for the start of Division II, and we're excited about having the 8 schools for Division II coming in. And I just wanted to go over this list because we've got some impressive organizations coming in with their club baseball teams. The first one right off the bat is the U.S. Air Force Academy, so they'll be here. Grand Canyon University will be here, and I believe they might be the national champions from last year. You've got Missouri University of Science and Technology. They'll be here. University of New Hampshire, Ohio State University, or as they like to be called, the Ohio State University, Temple University, University of Central Florida, and the University of Wisconsin La Crosse. Those are all the Division II teams that qualified through their regional events last weekend, and they're coming to Alton. So the road to Alton is it's warming up. We're going to have some traffic on it. And then we will know the Division I teams after this weekend. They're playing their regional events this weekend. So come Sunday night, Monday morning, we'll know the Division I teams that are coming.
This is exciting, man.
It's very exciting,
Well, and too, from a bigger standpoint, just from a non-sports standpoint, when you're bringing in all these individuals from around the country, they're getting to experience Alton, too, in the Riverbend community.
I literally got goosebumps a few weeks ago when the NCBA posted something on Facebook, and they hashtagged it Road to Alton.
That's cool.
How cool is that? This is a great event for our community.
Mm-hmm.
Over the 2 weeks that the Division II and Division I's going on, that's said to be a $1.3 million economic impact to our community that's not coming here now, but now it is, and with hotel rooms that the teams will stay in, their family and their friends will stay in hotels. They're all going to go out to eat,
right?
Experience the whole Riverbend area, from downtown Alton up the River Road to Grafton. And I tell you, us local people know what a beautiful drive it is from Alton up to Grafton, and I just can't wait to show that off to people that are visiting us, and it's just amazing.
Well, and I have no doubt, too, after the tournament, there's a good chance they're going to come back and just vacation in the summer or go, hey, man, why don't we go back to Alton for a weekend, I mean, all those things that you guys are really aiding to, it's got to be really cool to be in that position to go, we're helping the local economy.
Right. Alton's been home to me now for 2.5 years. It seems like a lot longer than that just because of just how home this has become over the last 2 years.
Uh-huh.
And it's a community, it's an area that we can be proud of, and we have a lot of things going here, and we like to show it off and to get these people to come over the next couple of weeks when 95% of them probably didn't have Alton, Illinois on their radar until now. It's good to have those folks come in, so we're excited about it.
Absolutely. And how can we get tickets for the World Series for both divisions?
The tickets will be all sold at the door,
okay.
So at the gate. So when you get there, I think they'll have an option to buy individual tickets and then also a pass for the tournament. So it's a lot to look forward to. The local support, and I'm not going to name them all, but several bars and restaurants from Alton up to Grafton have been huge supporters of this, and getting the local business community support for events like this is very important, and it helps us have an opportunity to nail this down for many years to come.
Well, and I think you're right, because it's one of those things like, the River Dragons NCBA, all that goes hand in hand, because the more we support it, we kind of band together and just realize how great this is. It adds to that long legacy that you guys could have here right in the 618. I mean, you can't beat it.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. I still remember getting set for our very first game in franchise history in 2021 using shop vacs to suck water off the field. So a few of us had a good laugh about that a few days ago. We don't have to worry about that now, of course, but with the artificial surface. But that seems like it was just yesterday. And to sit here thinking that we've played 2 seasons already, had tremendous success on and off the field both of those seasons. Obviously, last year getting all the way to the championship
Western
series.
Conference champ still hanging
right.
on the wall.
And we plan on getting you another pennant here at the end of this season that has some different verbiage on there. So something that leaves the Western Conference part out, but something else. But it's just been unbelievable, the support that we've had since day one. That support from sponsorships to our fans has been key in getting us to where we're at today.
Well, absolutely. And with that being said, too, we were talking yesterday about how many players you're getting on the team, some great quality coming in this season, but the fact that you got host families for each player, don't have to worry about that. I mean, that's really cool too.
Yeah, we're sitting really good with host families. We were looking for a couple towards the beginning of this week, and we were able to get a couple host families. We have all of our players that need a host family with a host family. Some of our host families are taking 2 and 3 players, and it's like I said, it's a team effort, from host families to our coaching staff, to our players, to our fans, to our intern staff. And it's just, it takes everybody.
Absolutely. And I wanted to mention too, you guys can meet the players of the River Dragons May the 31st, right over there at Cat Daddy's.
Yep, we're real excited about that. It's always a blast. It's a great time. Yeah, Porch Cafe, a great band here from the area. They're going to play, and they're going to have a special guest. And I don't know if I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but they're going to have a special guest with them, singing, performing on stage with them that nobody wants to miss.
Tease.
All right, yes.
Tease.
So, I saw a rehearsal video that I don't know if I should have seen it or not, but it landed in my inbox, so I watched it, and I was very pleasantly surprised, and this is going to be a blast. So, yeah, Cat Daddies, I think we get things started about 4:30, and we've got the band that'll be there. We'll have all kinds of drinks. We'll have merchandise, including Western Conference Championship shirts to
really
buy.
Cool.
It's going to be fun, and we're looking forward to that night. And hats off to Judy over at Cat Daddies
she's the
for
best.
thinking up that event. You know, it was her idea when we first got started, and I'm like, sure, why not? We had, I don't know, the first time before 2021 and that season, I think we had 100 people or so. We were brand new. Nobody really heard of us or knew what we were. Then 2022, there was at least 2 or 3 times that down there, and I'm expecting a big crowd this year, so it'll be fun.
Go. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to mention before we take a quick break here that I've seen a lot of the merchandise and a lot of jerseys and things going out online. Is that just something we go to your Facebook page on and see what we like and give it a purchase?
Yeah, you can buy it online. It's also everything's available in downtown Alton here at Funky Cards and Collectibles on 3rd Street, and they've done a good job with our merchandise, and it's available anytime there, and they open up about 4:30 daily, and then on the weekends in the morning. But they've got a whole bunch of merchandise down there. In fact, we're going to probably get those Western Conference Championship T-shirts down there this afternoon for them to start selling there. But they've been a great partner in helping us get merch out, and of course, merch will be available at the ball games as well. So fun stuff.
And there you go. And by the way, do you want to carpool on Wednesday?
Yeah, we can maybe do that. Yeah,
there we go. With that being said, we'll take a quick break here. Dallas isn't going anywhere. We're going to talk to the new manager for the River Dragons.
Yeah, Scotty Scott. Excited to get him in here in town, and excited to have the conversation with him here in just a few minutes.
We'll take a quick break. It's 10:40 on this 10th day of May. Dallas Smarts. And the new manager joins us next.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, woman-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today. $10:42. We're moving today, Dallas. Look at that.
It's good for
you. So you're speaking about Porch Cafe. Every time I hear Dirty Laundry, I think of Lenny and Porch Cafe playing this song.
Yeah, they're talented, man. If you haven't seen this band, you got to get out there. I'll say it. They're the best band in the area. They've got so many musical gifts in that band. It's pretty incredible.
See him on May 31st at Cat Daddy's with the River Dragons. But on the line now, the new manager for the River Dragons, Dallas. I'll have you do the introduction, man.
All right. Well, here's Scotty Scott. I tell you,
I appreciate it.
Real excited to have Scotty joining us as our field manager this year. He's I'll let him talk a little bit more about his playing career, but had an absolutely amazing collegiate career at the University of Hawaii, and I'm super glad that we connected and bringing this guy in as our coach for 2023 and hopefully beyond if it works out. And Scotty, welcome aboard. And we're proud to have you as our next head coach.
Thank you. I'm more than excited to be there in Alton, and thanks again for having me on today and getting more connected with the community of Alton. That's one thing I can't wait for, a community that loves baseball and great baseball fans out there. So I'm excited to be there.
Yep. We'll talk more about this in a minute, but you're a Houston, Texas guy like myself. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But talk to us a little bit about your career at the University of Hawaii and what it was like to go from Texas all the way out to Hawaii and play college baseball at some of the highest levels possible.
Yeah, I mean, it was, one of the best decisions I've ever made to pick up and, move 39,000 or 3,900 miles from home and experience something completely different than Northwest Houston, Texas, Cypress, Texas, where I was born and raised. And, we had the opportunity out there to play schools from every Power 5 conference, SEC, Big Ten. We played at Ohio State, at Vanderbilt, at Arizona State, and, got to play against some of the best competition and experience, what that professional level, at collegiate level of competition's like. And now the great part about it is hopefully I can transfer my experiences to our players and lead us to a championship.
I know. What was it like to be at Hawaii and then the road trips? I mean, it's not like you jump on a bus and drive for 3 or 4 hours. I mean, these are pretty major trips back to the mainland. And talk to us about what the travel schedule would be like. It's got to be a lot different than any other school.
It is, it's kind of a consensus. No one tries to argue that it's the toughest travel schedule in the country, but it's just some adversity you get to experience with your teammates and your coaches, and you really get to bond over it. I know Daniel K. Inouye Airport, or H&L, like the back of my hand now. We make 6 or 7 travel trips a year back and forth from the mainland, and what that usually looks like is a plane flight on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then you get into California or, say, Nashville if you're playing Vanderbilt. Late Wednesday and practice Thursday, play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and fly back the next Tuesday. So every Tuesday you're on a plane, either flying east or flying west over the Pacific. But, like I said, you can choose to complain about it or kind of embrace that experience with a group of guys that all have a common goal.
Yep. So real quick, so you're ready for the bus trips this season is what you're saying. You're prepared, huh?
Sign me up. Yeah. And you don't fly. We flew commercial Hawaiian Airlines, right? And they're a great airline, but they don't fly you to the ballpark.
Right.
So you take a bus to the airport and then you fly to LAX or San Diego. And then, sometimes you're busing to San Luis Obispo where you play Cal Poly for 4 hours, or you're busing to Riverside through the Los Angeles traffic for 4 hours. So, we spend time on bus and plane and rental car and you name it.
Very nice. Talk to us a little bit about the roster. I know we've been working on this a lot over the offseason. Talk to us. We have some of the local talent that we've had here in the past with Blake Burris and Adam Stiltz and Bryce Zupan, and you got Eric Brockmeyer, who had the big walk-off grand slam to send us to the championship series last year. But talk to us about some of our new guys and the talent that you're bringing in.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting roster, and it's a great blend of, like you said, local talent, like guys like Adam, Blake, Eric, Bryce, and then we're gonna have guys from across the country. We're gonna have another outfielder from St. Leo, who's really good kid, Dylan Mass. That's in Florida, and then we've got a starting pitcher from East Carolina, Hawaii, the West Coast, you name it. We're gonna have players from across the country and that cover all corners of the country, and so it's going to be a nice blend of talent as well as players geographically coming to play in Alton in the center of the country. So it's I'm very excited for this roster and these guys to get together and compete.
Well, and let me jump in here too and ask you from a different perspective. It seems like the River Dragons and Dallas and I have talked about this. The community support, the fan support is really there with this team in the Prospect League. That's got to be exciting to come into as a coach leading the team on the field, knowing that you have a very nice fan base ready to get behind you.
And you're exactly right. I've heard nothing but great things about this Alton community and the River Dragon fan base. And, the area in general, they're dedicated baseball fans who are just thirsty for baseball and love summer baseball. And so it's really nice to have all our guys from across the country be able to experience that Alton experience. The guys that aren't local and who've never had that before, they get to come play, in front of a nice sized crowd and a fan base that really knows baseball and loves baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hate to put you on the spot here with your boss in the studio with me, but what's your goal this season? I know that one's obviously bringing home a pennant and chasing that championship, but do you have any goals in mind that you just set for yourself?
Yeah, the goal I have for myself is to really just dominate every minute that we're there. So, from the report date, we have a few practices before season starts, and we're just going to dominate every minute of practice, 1 minute at a time. And then, when that first pitch happens on opening day, striker, ball, out or safe, you dominate the next pitch. And you just kind of go through that thing one pitch at a time and really focus on our preparation and our competitiveness. And, that's whatever happens at the end of the season, that's what's going to happen. You can't really control that. But what you can control is dominating one pitch at a time and being as prepared as you can be and really focusing on what you can control.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Dallas, what are your thoughts? I mean, this is, to step into this role, you had a great manager the first two seasons, and having Scotty came over and, take the reins in this, that's not an easy decision for you to make. How confident are you with this move?
Oh, I'm extremely confident. I've been a firm believer, and I said this since day one, and I've actually said this almost my whole life. The right people are going to be around you at the right moment.
Yep.
And the first 2 years, the right thing to have around us was Daryl Handelsman, and he put in 2 great years, and it wasn't an easy decision for him to choose not to come here, but he did it for, he made a decision for his family to be able to coach at a place that he's got a history at up in Waterloo, Iowa, and he's only 3 hours away from his teenage sons who play baseball instead of 10 hours. So it made sense. And then, I think I got a LinkedIn message from Scotty, and we're actually kind of talk about this for a minute, but Scotty and I basically grew up in the same neighborhood.
No way.
Now at much different times.
Oh.
Back when we had black and white TV is when I was growing up. No, I'm kidding. We had color. But no, Scotty's. I do have to say his high school didn't exist when I was in high school. But if it did, I mean, Langham Creek, which is where I went, and it was Cy Ranch, was where Scotty went. Those two borders, I think their borders touch, don't they? As far as
correct.
Yeah.
They sure do.
So I'm going to get Scotty some Langham Creek Lobo stuff from Houston to wear, and because I'm sure he'll enjoy that. But so there'll be some little friendly rivalry here between the two of us as far as high schools go.
So I could have asked, were the Colt 45 jerseys still on the Houston players?
Not officially, but not quite that long ago. But no, the connection that Scotty and I've been able to form, just kind of being from the same area, has been pretty neat. And I know our pitching coach is from another school in the district, and we've actually got a pitcher, Alex Renfro, who's coming. He went to Cy Ranch as well, where Scotty went. He's obviously younger than Scotty, but the neat thing about Alex Renfro for me is his grandfather was my high school assistant principal back in the day. So, and his grandfather actually gave me detention one time. So Alex and I might have to have a conversation about that. But
that would be great.
But yeah, so those are some neat connections to my hometown, and I'm excited to get Scotty here and get 2023 rolling for sure.
Absolutely. And hey, Scotty, while we have you, what's your message for the fans of the River Dragons, the community of Alton here at 10:52 this morning for your tenure here with the River Dragons ahead of the season?
I just want to say thank you, and how appreciative I am, and let you guys know that the River Dragons are in great hands with Dallas Martz as the general manager. Everything that he's provided me, with all the assistance. He's a phone call away, text message away, 24/7, and always on top of things. And the organization's in a great spot. The roster's looking good, but just want you guys to come out and support us, because we're here for you guys, the fans of Alton, the great baseball fans of Alton, and ready to play some good baseball this summer.
And too, with so many great incentives to get us out to really support the team too. And Scotty, just hearing you and Dallas talk, the chemistry with you guys is obviously there, and that's going to translate, I think, on the field with success this season too.
Yeah, I think it will too. June 1st is our first game of the season. That's over in O'Fallon, so just across the river. But we're real excited for that June 2nd date, our home opener on a Friday. It should be a great time. It's a Friday night. We'll have post-game fireworks. Before the game, we're going to have a pregame ceremony and hang the Western Conference championship banner from last year. So that'll be real neat and recognize some of the accomplishments, and then get this 2023 show on the road.
They asked me to sing the national anthem. I on. With that being said, Dallas, Scotty, I'm really excited for this River Dragon season, and the best of luck to you guys. Dallas, you definitely put the work in, and with NCBA and with the season starting, the best of luck. And Scotty, hey, bring home a winner and a championship this season.
Thank you. Will do. I just one more thing for the River Dragons fans. I want to set a Prospect League record for sellouts, and we'll give you something to sell out. How about that? So that's what I'm going for. Let's get some sellouts. Let's get some fans in the stands, and like the great fans that they are, and looking forward to a really good season. Thank you again for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dallas, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are welcome on anytime this season.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you having us this morning.
10:54, a little bit of change on this 10th day of May in downtown Alton. A quick break, our daily show. We wrap it up after this.
We protect your house and your car. Because we know they're the launching pad to their dreams. And now you can save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
When you're out on the sea alone, staring at the full moon like a lover. Time for a cool change. I know that it's time for a cool change.
10:57 as we're wrapping up. A great Wednesday show. How about that? Look at me coming out, really coming through for you guys today. Some great conversation, some great folks, but no All-Star Award today because this news is more important. On Saturday, May the 13th, always Mother's Day weekend in the parking lot at the corner of Landmarks Boulevard and Henry Street in downtown Alton. Rain, shine every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. until noon through October the 21st. I'm talking about the Alton Farmers and Artisans Market that is kicking off this weekend. Shoppers are going to find a wide selection of locally grown seasonal fruit and vegetables, including heirloom varieties, organically grown crops, along with grass-fed beef and pasture-raised poultry, farm-fresh eggs, local honey, hot and iced coffee, fresh bread, and other baked goods ready for you to eat and enjoy. In addition, fresh-cut flowers, potted plants, and a large assortment of handcrafted artwork such as pottery, stained glass, soap, candles, and woodworking items will be sold as well. There are special activities that are scheduled every week, and opening day will feature a community yard sale. Space is still available, and both booth registration, if I could talk today, can be found on their website. So much is happening all summer long, and Alton Main Street has received a Link Up Illinois grant to improve access to healthy food. SNAP benefits are accepted by most vendors. All you have to do is simply visit the information booth to use your card and double your buying power of fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. That's how we're wrapping up our show today. We're out of time. Tomorrow, full of guests: Shinobi Fitness, Christian Burns, Thomas Jefferson, and all of you. I'll see you right back here 9 o'clock on the dot for more of our daily show. So on that note, have an awesome rest of your day and try your best to stay out.